Hey everyone, welcome back to Legends of Podcasting. I'm Stuart.
I'm Ross.
And I am.
That's too soon, man.
This is a spoiler.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
It was on the thumbnail, so it's your own fault if you clicked on this.
So we are going to talk all things Endgame.
There's really no way to talk about this film without talking about the plot and the characters.
I've listened to. I've tried watching a few people on YouTube.
No,
non-spoiler.
Kudos to people that have done a non-spoiler review, because it's very hard to talk about this film without talking about what's in it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no point.
So
we're just going straight into spoilers. So we saw Endgame midnight. Wednesday night, midnight opening double bill. I have since seen it 2 more times, so I'm on 3 times.
I've seen it 1 more time.
Yeah, I saw it like 10 a.m. the next morning as well. So
and I've spent the last 3 days in a drunken haze.
Yeah,
so I've not seen it since the film came out.
Yes, right. So, but we have a little sort of structure to this, so we're not going to ramble for too long about the film. But yeah, like Avengers Endgame, man. I mean,
perfect ending, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah,
I think.
Perfect ending to a 22.
I couldn't tell you how I would change it to make it better.
Yeah, and that means it's a good film.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, maybe there are a few. We'll come to that in a bit later on with the structure of the movie itself. But yeah.
Well, I know. There's a few people that have said like it's a bit slow at the beginning, but to defend that straight away, I would just say to people, it is like the second part of a 2-part movie, and I would have hated it if they just didn't have that bit at the beginning to sort of show everyone.
It shows you how they've all fallen and how they dealt with failure.
Yeah,
I mean,
and why they want to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the first 20 minutes is literally what I thought the film was going to be. They like sort of like trying to find Thanos. Mm-hmm. They find him.
They kill him.
And they try and get the stones back.
Yeah.
And it literally happens in the first 20 minutes. They're like,
and they failed because he's already destroyed them.
Yeah. And it was just like, I mean, how fucking cool was that? As the first thing you see is like, obviously Hawkeye, which is like so sad.
As soon as I saw him come up, I thought, you're going to show his family.
Well, it's basically links that straight back into the end of Infinity War, because Thanos has just...
He wasn't in it until, so brings him straight into
shows him why he went on his path he did. And they show Tony and Nebula, and Tony looks so ill. Like, you don't really notice it on the ship, but that's
when he gets off the ship after 23 days in space...
And he's got the drip on.
He's so gaunt. Because obviously Nebula's part cybernetic and doesn't need much to survive.
And that's the reason why he's handing her the food, but she pushes him away because says, you need it more than I do.
Captain Marvel comes and saves him. But she's kind of like everyone... One of the things is like, well, how the hell does she know where he was? I'm assuming Rocket has like a tracker on his ship.
That and I think there's, if you watch Captain Marvel at the end of the film, there's they found Fury's pager. The scene is not in this film at all.
Yeah.
And she comes in and goes, "Where's Fury?" I would imagine they have a conversation after that, maybe in deleted scene we'll see on the film, on the Blu-ray once it comes out, and then they say they're missing Tony, and he was.
Well, I just assumed it was.
He's just dropping it. Sorry,
Thanos. No.
I assumed that she was just on her way to Earth because of the pager.
Yeah.
And because they're on their way to Earth, she just came across them.
That's how I'd read it. I'd say that's a coincidence, but then there are a ton of other coincidences in the film as well. But
I think like the whole MCU is set up with coincidences, but they just work. But I took it. So this is how good it is. This is how good this film is. I took it after watching it 3 times. Is that it's Rocket's ship, right? So he must like have some GPS tracker and know where it is.
Yeah.
So be like. Goes, where the hell's my ship? Like, finds what's it doing in space?
He's tech savvy enough to build something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so something like that. But so get that. Tony comes back. They have like, you get the moment when you didn't get Infinity War when Tony and Cap meet up again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's sort of very kind. It's like I lost a kid and we both lost together, and it was sort of like console each other. But then Tony's obviously fucking tired and hungry, and just that speech he does against Cap. It's just so like...
It's just straight back from Age of Ultron, isn't it? Yeah, we need an arm around the world. And you said we'd do it together and you weren't here.
Yeah, I started welling up. Like, the second time I watched it, just on that bit, I was like, God, I'm crying already. We're only 2 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
He's like, just that moment where he's just like, you said if we lose, we'll do it together soon. You weren't there, Cap. Where were you? And he was just like...
I think that's one of the film's core strengths is its character work. I mean,
just every callback. I'd love to find out if someone has counted the number of callbacks in this
209.
Film. Is there really? You've found it. 200 callbacks to all the other
callbacks
films.
or Easter eggs to other Marvel
just either something happens or someone says something or someone
just a visual element.
Yeah, just
like Hulk eating the ice cream.
Which I didn't notice.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream that one is wanting. He says is better to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Infinity War. Just like all that. It's so many. Like,
I know because I think someone said it best. I'm not going to sort of steal their words, but if the Infinity War was Thanos' movie, this is the Avengers film.
Yeah, this is.
Cap and Tony's film.
Cap and Tony's film, 100%, because they're the ones that get, like, I mean, obviously, Tony makes the ultimate sacrifice, but for me, the best moments in this film, Cap does.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't get that much to do in Infinity War.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy that for his final film, he got, like, for me especially, like, the funniest moment, and also 2 or 3 of the, like, gaspest moments, like, the fuck moments. So, which we'll get onto in a minute, because I've spent hours talking about that. But anyway, I mean, but that whole intro to the film, and then the whole 5 years later, and the way they actually say 5
years
pause
later,
it doesn't just come up and then disappear. It just makes you, and the crowd, I mean, when we saw it,
makes you suck it
everyone
in
was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But then you have a whole hour before they get to the next step of the film, where this is about an hour, isn't it? The first act. I think if you're going to divide the film into a 3-act structure, you've got the time they spent dealing with it, the heist, and then the final fight. And then I'd say the first hour around about that mark is just literally them dealing with stuff on Earth as the things happened. And
it's
just trying to cope with it.
It's so needed. I mean, like,
it's really, like you say, it's.
But it shows you how big Infinity War was and what it did.
It needed
to the
that,
world.
to make that snap.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been meaningless if they just fixed it straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the biggest shock to me was Tony having a kid and actually being happy.
Yes.
Like, I mean, well,
everybody else suffered, but he got lucky.
Yeah, he's like I think Pepper says, like, we got lucky, and he's actually happy. Like, they come to, obviously, like, Ant-Man comes back, they come to him and go like, look, can you do this? And he was just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I've got
I've got things to lose.
But I think he says something like I've got my second chance right here when he's hugging his daughter.
Yeah, he's got his daughter in his arms.
It's just like.
But it's only when he sees Peter and realizes that he.
Yeah. And when he actually does it, and he sits down and goes, shit, and his daughter's next to him goes, shit. Yeah. No, what's going on?
That's Mummy's word.
He plays like a dad. So I mean, like, I've got like a 3.5-year-old, and like, I think maybe that's why I got so emotional, especially the second time watching it, knowing what's going to happen to him at the end. Every scene he has with his daughter, I was like nearly in tears, man. I mean, it might be because I only had 3 hours sleep as well, but other than that, I was like, so it was just like. Every day, like when they're in bed, like when they're in bed, he's put to bed and stuff, and everything like that, like the "Love You 3000" thing.
Yeah, it's the last thing he ever said as well in the movie.
Yeah. And the whole, like, if you go to sleep or I'll sell all your toys. I've used that before. Yeah, 100%. You use that blackmail. It's standard blackmail.
It's Tony. You kind of think he would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then even the conversation he has with Pepper said, like, look, I think I've got this.
Yeah,
but
I could put a pin in it.
But I can, yeah. And she's just, and then the famous line that she obviously uses at the end as well. But would you be able to rest?
Yeah.
And he obviously doesn't.
On top of that as well, it's when, because
so great.
We always thought the time travel would be undoing the snap from from Infinity War, but when he comes back to the compound later on in the film and explains to Hulk what's gone wrong with the time travel,
you're putting him through time over time through.
Scott. It's like we can fix it, but we can't take back what's happened. Which means he gets to keep his daughter and try and undo the snap, which I thought was great. He's like, I don't want to change the last 5 years.
Yeah, the line he says, "Let's try and do it," and none of us die.
Yeah,
and it's like,
It's like,
what was he said earlier? Just to intercut as well. There's that line Black Widow says when they're on.
Yeah, when they all just before they all go to do the heist, teleport. She goes, "See you on the other side." She's the only one that doesn't come back.
Oh man,
we'll talk about that later as well.
Yeah, jumping ahead a little bit there. Yeah, but yes, but I mean, like, so.
But I want to say something about the Thanos re-snapping and destroying the stones. When I first saw that, I thought somebody was coming and they took the stones from him and he was battling them.
Oh,
that's why he didn't have them. Yeah. I thought Adam Warlock had turned up, taken them. That's why I instantly thought when I saw that.
It does seem weird because I mean, people that have read the comic know Adam Warlock and he was like in the post.
He was limping up the stairs when he was grabbing the fruit.
But like post credits of Guardians 2, he was like an Easter egg, like Adam.
That's what I mean. That's all we've seen of him. So like.
It's weird not to put
same with Captain Marvel to a smaller extent because she had her own film, but like throwing somebody in at the last minute who you haven't met isn't the best way to do that.
No, that just as soon as that happened, that's what I put it in my mind. I thought, holy crap, that's why no one's going to guess this movie because it's a different bad guy for this movie.
Imagine if
that's
it was.
what I thought, and then I was like, oh, okay, no, you destroyed them.
I've seen a couple of reviewers who I don't technically agree with them, but they make a good case for they were surprised and subverted when Thanos dies at the start of the film.
I thought
they were like, it would make sense if it was another bad guy that was the final villain.
Yeah.
Because I think I said to you guys in a conversation earlier this week about how possibly his genocide was keeping something in check.
Yes.
Keeping the universe balanced, even like it was a stupid plan, but it's keeping something in check, and now he's gone, and now it's stopped.
So he could be the ruler
something
of everything.
Else could be coming out. But
it'll give you a reason for why the future of MCU
it's a reason. It's a reason for a future threat, maybe.
Yeah.
I
mean, it does make sense. But yeah, I mean, like, well. Yes, I think it was. I mean, let's just back to a little bit. So, like,
yeah,
but like, yeah. So that whole like the intro, I thought It's great. The time heist thing, right?
Yes.
So I love the fact that they actually. I mean, I think people either confused or like sort of dead against the way they've done time travel because it's very different. Like we watched The Flash.
Yes.
And like Doctor Who, and like all these other time travel, like obviously
all the movies they listed.
all the movies they listed,
including Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. So stupid that we've seen. And to be fair, they call it out like, no, it doesn't work that way. If you go back and change something,
it creates a new timeline.
Yeah, but it won't affect you. So it's sort of the film does make sense, even the bit that with Cap staying. Which we'll talk about at the end.
That does make sense to me in terms of the way the time travel works. But
it's just, it was such a clever idea of being like, right, we're not going to go back in time and obviously stop Thanos from getting the stones, which they sort of were originally going to do. They were like, we'll go back, we'll take the stones, bring them, snap, take them back.
Yeah.
Done. But where they actually went, I was just like, it was such a Back to the Future 2 moment of like seeing like Tony and Ant-Man in the Avengers Tower,
seeing behind him
and stuff, and it's just it's like, oh, Captain America, oh Steve, your ass and that. He goes, that's America's ass. Such a good line. I freaking love that line. And then later
Scott's always got the best lines.
And then later on when he's like beating himself up, he's like, that is America's ass. That's like that's the funniest line in the film. I don't care.
He's put the Peggy thing back in his pocket, and he's like, oh, that is America's ass.
It's so good. But that whole thing, even Hulk like pretending like, oh god, like that was great. And the Professor Hulk thing. I know people are a bit controversial about that. I mean, what do you think about?
We'll talk about characters a bit later on. If we get and then. So we carry on through the rest of the film. So we have the heist itself carried off almost perfectly because Thanos finds out what's going on due to a glitch in Nebula's.
Which I actually thought was pretty, because I was thinking like they're going to get away with it. So how are they going to fight him at the end?
Yeah.
In fact, he finds out about it, and then a bit doesn't quite make sense to me. Is still how he comes back through a microverse.
Rob was talking about this earlier. I don't obviously Future Nebula. Past Nebula takes Future Nebula's pin particles and hands it off to Thanos.
There's a GPS thing.
Along with the GPS locator to get back to the point in the timeline. But then, as Ross said, she comes back with Rhodey, and then Thanos
she comes back afterwards.
Umber after Rhodey. They arrive at the same time.
Then she uses the time machine to bring him back through it, because that's why she's given him the pin particles. But how did she get back if she gave it to him?
So there'd have to be two sets of pin particles, but I would give Thanos. This is me writing the movie for itself. I'd give Thanos credit that he'd be able to.
I wonder if there's a deleted scene where he gives it to a scientist and says, "You need to analyze this."
Yeah, I mean,
but because it's a 3-hour movie, they just cut it out.
Yeah, I mean, there must be. I mean, like the whole. Yeah, I would.
That's the only thing that doesn't quite add up.
I mean, he's got advanced technology, so I assume he could like scan the GPS and be like, right, we'll copy that.
Yeah,
and then also we'll copy the pin part.
Well, I think he has his own teleport, does he? He appears everywhere.
Yeah, true.
A bit like his own sort of Bifrost.
Yeah.
Maybe he uses that technology to get her back or something.
Very true. Yeah, but the time heist thing was pretty cool. Like, I love them going back to New York. Mm-hmm. It was freaking genius.
Well, it's basically the film at this point becomes a victory lap of the MCU.
Exactly.
It's basically here's all the best parts of the MCU, including the Dark World, which I know some people's not favourite film, but that works for a very pivotal character moment for Thor later on in the film, which we'll talk about later. So,
and it's when the ether turned up, so you have to go back to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not the worst film in the MCU universe.
But I did really like that they were clever enough for Natasha to go, wait a minute, if we pick the right year, there's 3 stones all in one place. That was really clever.
The fact you saw the ancient one again.
That was great.
I mean, another quick thing. The amount of cameos that are in this film.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, talk about highlight reel. It's like everybody.
It's why I call it a victory lap.
Alexander Pierce.
Pierce.
The Strike Force.
Rumlow.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, Natalie Portman.
His mother.
The ancient one.
Yeah. Just so. I just did not expect to see any of these people ever again. No. And they're just all in it. I was just like, this is amazing. Yeah. Actually crazy.
Even the kid from Iron Man 3. I'm not sure I know the film but he was there at the end.
I did get confused first time I watched it. I was like, who the hell is that kid? Know everyone else in this scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was great. I love the bit with showing the beginning of Guardians 1 again, him dancing and singing, and then panning to him just singing with no background music.
Yeah, because without the title crawl and the music, he's just dancing around singing out a key. It's brilliant.
There's Rhodey's just like, he's an idiot. Yeah, pretty much. So that was.
And the way Cap gets the staff is just genius. He already knows that they're hiding.
That whole bit when he walks into the elevator and he's literally the same people.
I was sitting there thinking, right, this is going to be a recreation of the fight scene from.
And I would have been happy to see that.
But then he just leans over and goes, "Hail Hydra," because obviously he knows they're Hydra, and takes the staff and walks off.
And smiles, and then it goes on to the next another cool bit with him fighting himself.
Yeah,
with it's probably the second funniest line is when when the original the older one, younger one.
The one from that current time.
Punch him and goes, I can do this all day. He goes, yeah, I know.
It's when he uses Bucky against him as well, because he's got the original 2012 Avengers cap. It's like strangling our current future one. Bucky's alive. What? And he knocks him out.
He uses his own weakness against himself.
It's just that hat that I can do this all day line has been used in like some of the most pivotal points, like Civil War, so deep, like in the first Captain America film, really like so many big moments, and like he's gone that far. He even like says shit in like the film, going all the way back to Age of Ultron.
Let's get the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The film,
And then he's just like, yeah, I know. And he was like, that sounds so lame. It's so cool. But yeah, that's so cool.
The time heist is basically going back to 3 periods in time to get the Infinity Stones from the timeline and bring them back to the future so they can undo the snap before replacing the stones back to where they came from to make sure the timeline doesn't stay altered.
Yes, which even the ancient one even explains to you, which makes sense.
But then obviously that goes wrong when Thanos from Guardians 1 era, 2014, comes through the portal to modern day just after Hulk's undone the snap and brought everyone back.
You want to before we go on to the final fight?
Yeah,
I'm talk about that all day. We've got the whole bit with Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yes,
going to so the Soul Stone.
One of the Soul Stones.
I mean, what?
Yeah, it's still on Vormir, and also we found out in the first film it requires a sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they got on that ship together, I was just like, oh no, I know exactly what's going to happen here. That's not cool.
They did keep switching it up right until the last minute.
That was awesome. It was the complete opposite. Obviously, like with Thanos, like throwing Gamora over. He's like she didn't want to go. The fact they were standing there talking like, well, I guess we're gonna have to. Yeah, we do.
They were both talking about different people.
Hawkeye's like, we're talking about the same person.
Again,
right?
It's just how much the characterization works for these characters in this film is that when Ronin's been obviously you've seen the trailers running around as Ronin for the last 5 years, and he's obviously been taking his anger out and losing his family with people that survived, the criminals that are still preying on the weak and killing them all. And then when she eventually finds him, there's quite an emotional scene back in the first act of the film when she brings him back into the fold. But then obviously they get that line when they're on the ship heading towards Vormir and they're pretty far from Budapest. But like you say, they get to the end and they're both looking at each other going, right, one of us has got to make a sacrifice. We all know who it's going to be, and then
talk about each other.
Clint, you talk about yourself, aren't you? Like, I talk about me.
It's just like it's just and then the whole back, as you say, Ross, the whole back and forth of like literally he decks her and she like flips it. Then
she shoots him with the electric thing. And he gets up in time and knocks it down with an explosive arrow.
Yeah, one of his 3 arrows in his back.
And he tries to jump off the cliff, at which point she harpoons him with a wrist thing. Off the
side of the cliff. And then she actually like. It was obviously, I love the way he was actually holding onto her wrist, and she was like,
she was trying to get out,
and then pushes away. I was just like, that was so. Oh man!
And the fact that I watched Infinity War again the other night, it's the same music from Gamora's death scene.
Just I mean, the music in this film is I noticed it when I watched it the third time. It's just constant, like little themes of different characters, like playing all the way through this film.
So I did notice though that the platform on there was different to an Infinity War one.
It's been 4 years between 2 films.
Yeah, I know, but it wouldn't have changed that much.
Well, it depends how bored Red Skull gets.
Red Skull's I would redecorate.
Why is it completely different?
I would change this bit. It should be more scary, maybe. But yeah. It's one of the things I really miss at the end, like when Cap takes his stones back. To see him go back to put the Soul Stone back and see the Red Skull would have been. I know it's like another 40 minutes of the film, but that would have been such an awesome moment to see Cap again. And like you said, with like what do you say? Not coincidence. Doing that. I mean, if it wasn't those two up there for the Soul Stone, it would have been like a whole if it was like Hulk and Rocket, yeah. People that have no relationship, totally different. But
because those two work so
convenience, that's the word I was looking for. It's those two, which it totally makes sense. It's absolutely fine. That's great. Yeah, and then say even the bit where they have to go first, like Tony and Steve go back, and then Tony has that bit with his dad. Yeah, fucking great.
Again, character work.
All of it. And he sees Peggy as well, which is great. And then you see a young Hank Pym as well, which just all leads in so well. But yeah, when they finally get back. We talk about the heist today. Let's go on to the best bit of the film.
So they get back and they've created a gauntlet out of Iron Man tech, and presumably other stuff as well because Rocket's working on it along with other people.
Which again, I've seen a couple of people say, well, why did that work? Because Thanos had a glove, but it doesn't work because Hulk gets fucked up.
I know, but so did Thanos at the end of the Infinity War. After he's done a snap, his hand starts to melt.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the glove was there so you could put it on in the same order. I don't think it harnessed the power at all. It was like there, so you could do a snap. But Hulk's arm, even totally on Hulk's arm,
the gauntlet is effectively just a way of wielding 6 stones at once.
But like when Thanos had it, it sort of like did that, but it didn't actually burn him.
And then when you come back to him at the start of the film, he's done it. He's used it again to destroy the stones, and it's almost withered. He's got no arm left. It's
but it's very much like I don't.
But that's more the explosion of
the stones. I don't think that glove made of tech is meant to be to hold it. It's just meant to be able to do it so we can actually do a snap. That's all. But
the metal that's made out of is made from that dying star. So it would have been more powerful than his.
Exactly. Which totally makes which is why Hulk gets fucked up.
That's why Hulk says he's the one who has to do it because
nobody else will survive it.
Well, the stones emit gamma radiation. And he's like, well, I've
absorbed some of
well versed in gamma radiation.
Yes, exactly. So it's like I'm made for the job. Which is awesome. And then so that happened, and then they do the snap, and then
Hawkeye immediately gets a phone call,
which
from
is
his
awesome.
wife.
And then suddenly Hulk looks up and he just gets the whole fucking HQ blows up. I was just like,
Thanos has come back through the time portal from 2
blew him up.
Yeah.
They I thought Iron Man was dead. Yeah. Honestly, thought when that missile hit that, I was like, they just killed off Ant Man. That's really shit.
So Avengers HQ's wrecked. All the heroes are separated. Yeah. Thanos has landed along with the children of Thanos back. Yeah. A load of the what they call the Outriders, the creatures from the the armies are landing.
But before they show up, just Thanos is there sitting there, and you've got Thor, Iron Man, and Cap.
Being like, take him off.
Whereas he's there, he hasn't got the glove. Nope. All right, let's go down. And it's just that initial fight with just the four of them. Yeah. It's freaking cool. The fact that Thor. We'll talk about his look in a minute. Yeah. But the fact he gets Mjolnir and then Stormbreaker at the same time is just like, I was just like, oh shit, he's got both hammers. That's fucking that's fucking insane. And then he actually powers up Tony's suit, which is like call back to Avengers 1. Which is fucking awesome.
Which when we talk about that, we haven't seen that since Avengers 1.
Yeah, which is really cool. And then like they're fighting, and then Thor's down. And then suddenly Mjolnir flies up. And then you're like, what's going on? Then suddenly Captain America fucking catches it. Best moment. I said this as not only that, someone at my work. I was like, I wish I didn't blow up Mjolnir because I would love it if Cap could fight Thanos with it at the end, not knowing that they were going to bring it back in this film.
Time travel.
But like it's great.
Went back to before it was destroyed and got it.
And then there's like a minute long scene of Cap just beating the shit out of Thanos with Mjolnir,
and using it so well.
Using it much better than Thor ever has. I mean, I don't know. The only thing that I question slightly is how the lightning worked, because I thought that Thor generates the lightning, but it's still cool. I'm not I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but he just literally beats the shit out of Thanos. And then Thanos sort of gets him back and then breaks the shield. And then like the other coolest moment for me is literally Cap gets up with like a busted up arm, straps himself up with half a shield. He sees, as you were saying, the whole like the bloody Chitauri, the creatures from Infinity War, the children of Thanos, just standing there. Right? He doesn't know anyone's coming. He's just him.
When Thanos says the line as well, when he's like, I don't take this personally. Like, this is I'm been balancing the universe. But what I'm going to do to your planet, I'm going to enjoy. And Cap's the only one standing.
Literally, Cap gets up. He doesn't know that he's about to get loads back up. He stands up. He's like,
straps that busted shield onto his broken arm.
I mean, I was just like, Cap, man. I mean, Jesus. I mean,
you could do this all day, man.
And then, like probably my second favourite, like goosebump moment of the movie, you just hear Sam going, Cap,
you there?
On your left. Oh man.
Doctor Strange opens a whole series of portals. All the dusted Avengers from the first film are back, along with pretty much half the galaxy has come to fight Thanos.
It looks like Xandar's there. You've got all the sorcerers
as guardians. You've got so many people. Kendall Strange's like, you got everyone? This isn't enough. It's like such cool.
And literally, you can talk about the end fight for ages, but it's epic. It's
wait. One more thing before the fight starts, man. Come on, you've only seen what you're this. Captain America's standing there, and then he says Avengers,
grabs
Mjolnir, and goes assemble. It's like yes, he finally said it.
The one line we've been waiting 10 years for,
and then you just have this.
The music just kicks in, and everyone just charges in. Ant-Man just punches one of those big things.
I was just literally the first. I mean, when we saw it, I was just like, I must be hallucinating because I can't believe this is actually happening.
And I mean, the whole point of the fight is that obviously Thanos has come to the future because he knows that's where the All Six Stones are going to be a long time to get them. And obviously, all the heroes are busy playing keep away with the what's left of the gauntlet after Hulk snaps it to keep the stones away from him. I think with the intention of getting it back into
which would have made no sense to me. After watching it, like if they threw the glove into the vortex, they wouldn't have gone back to where they should be. So that makes no. He kind of did them a favour. So it's like, but I mean, then you have like Pepper shows up in rescue
armor, which
and you have the whole and then Scarlet Witch.
When she goes up against him.
Thanos apart.
She comes out the portal in front of him and goes, "You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah. You will."
Yeah. And she just
starts ripping him apart.
And so much so that he's then like rain fire and to kill everyone.
On his own troops.
And then suddenly the guns point up. Yeah. It's like shooting into the clouds and like what they're shooting at, and fucking Captain Marvel flies through. Yeah. To be fair with Captain Marvel, right? I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad he was only in the film for 15 minutes. Put it that way.
I'm glad.
It's not a smirk as much on a character. Yeah. Although I don't like Brie Larson as an actress and a person. The character's all right.
Yeah. I'm just glad that she wasn't there the whole thing just to like. Just be like, right, well, that was easy. Yeah.
That's what I mean. They obviously
they have the actual original 6 doing most of the work.
The film is a send off for them, especially.
Exactly.
She destroys Thanos' ship and then engages him in hand-to-hand combat, and they're
which
quite
is amazing.
Matched.
I mean, the whole bit where she's like holding the glove and starts breaking it up, and he tries headbutting her.
She doesn't even flinch.
This was my problem. This was my main fear, was that she was going to turn up and one-shot him, and all the work you've done for 10 years would be out the way just because they throw a character in you've met for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But no, the brains over brawn. Yeah. Thanos is slowly being overpowered by Captain Marvel, reaches onto the Infinity Gauntlet, which he's currently stolen and wearing, pulls the Power Stone off, charges it up, knocks her the fuck out.
Right.
It's like, well done, Thanos.
Great stuff. And then
proves why he's such a formidable villain.
Exactly. And then there's like three more moments in that end fight that I love so much. Tony and Spidey meeting up.
When Spider comes jabbering away, and Tony just
hugs him, but he goes, "Oh, this is nice." Yeah. But made me cry. Him talking to Strange and him saying, right, so when first time I saw this, he's like, when Strange, he goes, "So you saw 14 million times and you said we won one, is this it?" And when he says, "If I tell you, it's not going to happen," I knew exactly what was about to fucking happen.
But as well, because with the lake that the Avengers thing was beside, was it the Hudson, gets destroyed, and Strange is basically holding back back the tidal waves. Yeah, exactly. And then Tony turns to him at one point, and Strange just goes like that.
I'm just like, oh man, I know what's about to happen. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, Tony flies in. Yeah, grabs Thanos by the hand, and you don't see it.
Yeah, I love the fact how cocky he was, because that whole I'm inevitable.
He knocks Tony away, and he's like, "I see that all your work for nothing. I am inevitable," and nothing happens.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cut to Tony kneeling down, his arm being shredded away by the pure force of wielding all the stones in the gauntlet. Yeah, he has an eye. Am Iron Man. Bookending the series with the line it began with, and just flicks his fingers.
So good, man. And then his death is just so. Yeah. Oh man!
It's like you can rest.
I'm welling up just thinking about it.
Rest now, Tony.
I'm literally welling up just thinking about it. It's so.
Rhodey gets there first, and he instantly knows. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's Peter comes in, and then
comes
Pepper,
along.
And then Pepper, and
Pepper's like, people he cares about.
You can rest. You stun, Tony. You can rest. You can rest. Everyone's safe.
We'll be fine. Yeah. You can rest.
That is so good. Yeah. And then see Cap there.
And just to round out the end of the story, Cap and everyone's watching on, and then it fades to Hawkeye coming home, seeing his family still alive, and then cut to Tony's funeral with pretty much every character that's been.
Which was great. Which was really great. And then the bit with Happy and his daughter. Yeah. I was sitting there going, I know exactly. Like I didn't even have to see this. I know that Happy's going to look after that little girl no matter what. And it was so great. Yeah, all the cheeseburgers.
And if it wasn't that much of an emotional twang to see Tony die, you then get the final scene of the film.
Cap
taking the Infinity Stones back to restore the timeline.
And then he doesn't show back up again.
Doesn't come back from his time trip.
And I didn't realise, first time I didn't realise that what he says to Bucky is exactly what, it was like a role reversal of when Bucky goes off to the army. And Captain America 1, he goes like, "Don't do anything stupid when I'm gone." He goes,
Bucky instantly knows he's not coming back.
How am I meant to? You take all the stupid with you? And I just like, oh man. And then you see like an old
Cap sitting on the bench. He has a few words with Sam and hands Sam the shield, passing the mantle of Captain America.
So good.
And then the final scene of the film, back in the mid-40s,
getting his first dance.
He gets his dance with Peggy, which closes the film out.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. I mean, what a way! I'm glad, because I thought Cap was going to die, but I'm glad he got his happy ending in a way.
I mean, it's. We've forgotten one very important scene with the final of a third Avenger.
We'll talk about Thor in a minute, because he was great. But because I think it's going to piss some people off, that will. But
you're right. I think just to say about the film overall, I've been saying all the way through this talk, I enjoyed it a lot. If you put Infinity War and Endgame together, I think Infinity War just tops it because of how narratively strong it is and the structure, and it just works end to end. You can sit down and go bam, bam, bam. It's all there.
So this one's from start to finish.
Because it's the needed first act in Endgame that slows it down, but then the middle bit's a bit muddled with the time travel. Which, if you're not following that along, because it's explained very quickly in the film, and if you're not following with it, you're like, well, how's that going to work? What's going on? And that can kind of throw you for the loop at the final fight. But it's still a very excellent film. What makes it work is the character pieces that you've got 10 years. The more you've invested into these characters,
the
more you get out.
The more you're going to get out
of this film. So if you've only watched a handful of the Marvel films and come watch this, you'd probably be like, what the fuck?
That's it. I can see people where people might not like this film. I can understand people not liking it. I think they're going to be in the minority, and that's not a bad thing. If you have your own opinions, for sure.
But I mean, like, I agree. I mean, the fact I know how good this film is that every time I've seen it, so 3 times now in a few days, I've cried every time. Right? It's the same as Logan. Like, I wasn't expecting much from Logan, and that makes me cry every time as well. Just because I've invested 10 years in these characters and seeing them, especially Cap and Tony, finishing off. I'm just like, dear God, man, in such a good way.
Yeah,
it wasn't even in a shit way. It was just such a good way, and the film was so unexpected. I literally every time the second time I went and saw it with my wife, I was most looking forward to seeing her reaction to it, and when I've spoken to people at work, they're all going to go and see it over the weekend. I can't wait to go in on Monday and speak to them about it, because I can't wait to hear what they think about it.
It's one of those. That's annoyingly as well. It's one of those films where you can't. My brother saw it the night after I did, so he was in the house I was in all day on Thursday after the film.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I can't say anything.
The best thing about it is watching it for the first time, not knowing what the hell is going to happen.
Yes,
that's the best thing about this film. And even like watching it through the second time and the third, I could watch this film forever and never get bored of it, because it's just so.
You get all the little moments, all the little things that they say, which is going to link up to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like
I mean, what do you think about Russ?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, is it beat? So what, like in terms of like all the MCU movies?
I think it is the best one.
It's in the top.
Yeah, like for me, Iron Man was my favourite for a long time. Nothing beat Iron Man for me. Winter Soldier got close, Guardians of the Galaxy got close, Civil War got close, but it wasn't until Infinity War come out that I found it finally beat Iron Man for me. And I was saying to you, which one is better? I mean, you can't have one without the other.
No, it's a bit like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
You can't watch one without the other.
You can't. It needs both.
But I feel like that ending scene just trumps everything.
The last fight.
Yeah, I just love it so much.
I do. Yeah.
Like I remember saying, I want to say it was around Civil War time. I said to you guys, the one thing I want from the final movie when they take on Thanos, if he's that powerful, you need everybty against him. And that's the one thing I wanted, and it's the one thing I got.
One thing that was missing in Infinity War.
All of you versus all of me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted, if he's that powerful, you need everybody to take him out. He can't just be Iron Man, he can't just be Thor.
Yeah.
It has to be everybody.
That for me is why Infinity War, for me, is better.
I think it's a better story from start to finish.
But it's also, it had the most potential to be a complete mess. If Infinity War hadn't worked, this wouldn't work either.
Oh yeah.
And I think
I think the thing as well, you didn't know there was a sequel coming up. When it came out, you kind of did, but you didn't 100% know. So you were like, and then when they did the snap, you're like, oh my god! So you then completely hyped up for a next movie.
To annoy some of our audience, the Infinity War had a chance to Last Jedi itself and managed to spectacularly avoid that by balancing different groups of characters you never thought you want to see, by having enough action in it to keep it fast paced, and like the pace was so punchy that you never stopped to think about what was going on until the final snap. Whereas I'm not saying it's slow. It's a slower film because it needs to be for the character to work. For that, you need that first act where it's really slow to understand the gravity of the weight of these characters are feeling now, what they're feeling. So that way it becomes more emotional towards the end. But speaking of, a quick rundown of what you thought of each character.
Far away.
Let's start with Tony.
I mean, I've always loved, like, bar Iron Man 3, which I don't talk about now. I've always loved like Iron Man, but like as a whole, the Avengers. Like I think we've said this lots of times off camera, that 10 years ago before the MCU came around, like the Avengers were like C-list characters, man. We had like Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, the big boys, and these were like no, and they've turned these characters. Like I love Captain America now. If I told myself, if I went back in time 10 years and said, by the way, Stu, 10 years time you're gonna love Captain America, I would have fucking slapped myself in the face.
Well, you always used to say he was nobody's favourite superhero.
Yeah.
That was our catchphrase.
Screen Junkies did that.
They
went to Soldier One. It's like everyone's favourite Avenger.
And like the Russos have, Captain America 1 was good, but like the Russos have taken Captain America and turned him into one of my favourite superheroes now. Being a massive DC fan, Cap is like really up there with a super. And I think this film, the thing, because I love Captain America so much, I think Endgame tops it for me over Infinity War, because in Infinity War Cap got sidelined.
Yeah.
It was Thor.
He didn't have a shield.
He didn't have a shield, which is big, but it was Thor and Iron Man's movie, where like Endgame is Iron Man and Cap's movie. So this film, to see Captain America, like especially at the end with Mjolnir, and just leading all these heroes.
Well, I think everyone on the internet's been saying, because that scene in Ultron where he wobbles the hammer slightly. When's he? Is he going to ever be worthy enough to pick it up? Can he pick it up?
I mean,
like see Captain
we got that
again. But what a callback! What a callback to it happening, and even just the way it just and then
the way you just don't even see he picks it up at first. You just see it come off the dirt, and it's just like that's Captain.
Well, because you think it's coming to Thor because he's like getting stabbed with Stormbreaker, and he's got his hand like that. So you're like, he's going to grab Mjolnir. And it sort of hits Thanos and then flies backwards. You're like, where the fuck's he going? He just catches it like that.
Yeah.
And just
he knows how to use it.
I knew you were worthy.
Yeah. It's just so good. But I mean, and especially, I'm so happy because I was really worried. Again, referencing Last Jedi, big Luke Skywalker fan. The whole way through Last Jedi, first time I watched it, I was like, please don't kill Luke off. Please don't kill Luke off. And then all the way through Endgame, I was like, please don't kill Cap off.
Yeah.
For God's sake, please don't kill him.
When his shield got smashed.
Yeah.
When he was like pounding him with his sword. I'm like, oh god, this could be
there was even a bit where he was fighting and then suddenly he got thrown on the floor and Thanos just went like that. I thought he was dead. I was like, Jesus, you killed Captain America. Yeah. But the fact that he doesn't die, he's fucking badass in this film, and then he gets a happy ending to go back with Peggy, and it makes sense.
So for Cap's ending off, he finally
so good.
He's kind of achieved everything he needs to in the future, and for him
he's passed on. He knows the world is safe, and he doesn't need to do it anymore
with a new shield.
With a new shield, which around.
It kind of works with the time travel. He's a parallel universe, and he's brought it back. So
the fact he actually listened to Tony's advice of like go and get a life.
He
went and did that with the one he loves. I was
You're gonna
tears, man.
Going to tell me about that ring? No, I really am.
No. But I mean, even the CGI.
Oh, CGI is amazing.
As old, like really good at de-aging people, but like aging him up to an old man, it was just so.
I want to know if they've got an actor that looks a bit like him, and then they digitally changed it.
No,
or if it's just him. And they
what do you guys? I loved Captain America's.
So he alongside Tony have now ended the era of their tenure in MCU possibly. So
Tony was great as well with being a dad, and I think
his
he didn't have a lot to do as Iron Man in this.
No, but I mean his character over the entire of the 10 years he's been 11 years now that he's been part of Marvel Studios has really grown from the cocky playboy billionaire to somebody that went, I've created this suit in Iron Man 2, but I'm not going to give it to the government because I don't trust you. To then understanding how much damage his suit can do in Iron Man 3 and Avengers, to being wanting to work with the government to help protect and build a suit around the world, to creating a murder bot.
He's gone through a lot, and then especially at the
Civil War,
and then finding Thanos in Infinity War and losing.
Yeah.
Even when they're like, "Oh, you fought him," is that what you heard? Yeah. That's not what happened. I got my ass handed to me. Basically, what he says.
Moon thrown at me.
Yeah, moon thrown at me, and then like the magician gave away the magic rabbit or whatever it was. And then at the end, he did the ultimate thing of like saving everyone.
He had the most to lose as well in that fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody else had already lost.
Yeah, he's the only one who won, and he knew what he had to do, especially when Strange. I mean, it totally makes sense now why Strange gave him the time stone so he thought Tony wouldn't die.
Yes,
because he knew Tony had to do it.
Tony had to be the one that had to be.
And I think, I mean, it was. I'm sad he died, but I think it was a deserved death. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I say, if it wasn't that character, it hadn't gone through that journey, I don't think it would have worked as well as it
exactly. And it was. I mean, it's so good. I think that was great. Thor,
yes. Let's talk about Thor. So Thor does not take failure well, as we discover in this film.
He goes onto carbs hard. And which is a great joke. And I mean,
the first joke of the film when he cuts Thanos' head off 10 minutes into the movie. Is, what the hell did you do? I went for the head.
And then he goes into like a 5-year depression, gets fat. Has his long hair back, which is awesome. But turns into Big Lebowski basically.
Yeah, it's even referenced in the film as well.
Which is great. And then I think that's where a sort of little division. If you were a massive Thor fan, I could see you being a bit pissed off.
I know a lot of people are unhappy with the running joke that they never got him back on top.
Because in Infinity War he was like, at top of his game. Yeah. He was like opening, freaking holding, like
he's at the best moment in the film.
taking the sun, and then the best moment for him when he bifrosts down and destroys everyone.
Yeah,
I mean he was like on top of his game. So the fact they turned that into like say he was a joke for the film, but he made
he was never like an outright joke, but it was a running joke that he was fat and depressed and not really doing much.
He's like when he sees his mum, he's just like, "What are you doing about it?"
Let's talk about that. When in the time heist, when they go back to the only place they know the reality stone is going to be at any one point in time is on Asgard during the Dark World, so they go back and steal it. At which point Thor runs off to have a reunion with his mum and gives him some very much needed advice.
Salad.
Yeah, not just eat a salad, but about he's trying to tell her she's going to die that day, and she's like, "No, you can't. What will happen will happen." But I know that you need to.
She already knows. So.
Be the person that you like. Be the best at what you can. Be not who you should be. Kind of
yeah.
And then at which point he steals Mjolnir because he misses it and takes it back to the future. So.
I did think at that moment because we heard in Thor Ragnarok he gets his power from Asgard, same as Hela and everybody. When he got his hammer, I thought he was going to transform back into being into perfect shape. And I think that would have been a good moment to do it.
I would like to have seen
Joe
Thor
would have done.
Back in peak form, but I think that he's still at the end when he's wielding Stormbreaker and Mjolnir at the same time.
With a little chubby belly in his suit. It's a bit weird.
No, I think it works. I'll give it a pass on the fact
I love the way how much his fucking beard got platted just from grabbing two hammers. I was like, what the hell? That's some magic powers you got going on there. And have a platted beard.
I think by the end of the film he's overcome his state of depression, having helped.
Yes, definitely.
And he leaves. Obviously, the Asgardians that survived the start of Infinity War are now on. Is it Norway in Tromsø? And Tromsø, and
he goes off the Guardians. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
So he leaves Valkyrie in charge.
Having been hanging out with Rocket for a while, he heads off with the Guardians.
Which is a great scene at the end.
Who talk about them very briefly. They've all come back, and Rocket's got his family back.
Yeah,
apart from Gamora.
Gamora, but there now Gamora is outright dead because of the way the Soul Stone works.
Yes.
Or the Gamora we knew. But there is a Gamora from 2014 running around in this.
Well, that's if Iron Man's thing didn't kill her.
I don't think she did.
I know, but you don't see if she's alive or not.
Yeah, because where would she be? Because Nebula's on the ship. So where is she?
She's off. She ran.
Why did she not stay with Nebula? They were like sisters.
She's stuck on Earth.
Well, think about it. She's still pre-meeting Peter Quill because that version of Nebula would have run into Peter in about a day later, back in the time that they came from. So, and that's when her journey of finally realising she can step out. She's already sort of like doesn't like Thanos at that point or hates him. When she can step out from under him, she's now got to go off and sort herself.
I get it. I just don't get where she's gone because there's no spaceships around.
Yeah, she's got to be on Earth. It's going to be hard to find.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Pete's already searching for her when Thor joins the ship. So I would
Guardians 3
as Guardians of the Galaxy.
As Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be good.
I think that's what I'm most looking forward to in the next phase if they do that. I want to see the Guardians with Thor because those Peter the little interaction in Infinity War they had was great. And seeing those two argue who's going to captain the ship.
I got some pistols. What knives? Oh yes, knives.
No one's getting stabbed here today.
So everyone knows who's in charge.
Yes,
like
you are
me. Yes. Yeah, you. Of course you.
Of course you.
He's very good. And the way he looks at it, you are like no, you're not.
Question mark. Yeah. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is a funny
he's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of like they're putting the sort of funny into Thor. But again, I can see if you're a big Thor fan that you'd be annoyed a little bit. But I mean, it's the same with like Professor Hulk. Again, I can see like how I thought it was quite cool the way he did that.
Yeah.
But I can see how if people love the Hulk, as in the angry rage monster Hulk, they might get a bit annoyed about that.
Let's talk about Hulk then, obviously, because he's
I quite enjoyed it.
In the 5-year time skip, he's managed to find a way to connect himself and the Hulk physically and mentally together as one being, Professor Hulk,
which is cool.
So he's
I like that, and it sort of worked for the film. And he's actually quite funny as well.
Well, he's basically the Hulk with Bruce Banner's personality.
Yeah, which I never thought Bruce Banner was that funny, but he seemed pretty funny in this.
But surely wouldn't that make him a little bit weaker because Hulk gets stronger the more.
You never see him fight. The one thing I have to say in Endgame, the one thing I would have liked to have seen is round 2 with Hulk and Thanos.
Yeah, definitely, especially with like the brain and the brawns put together.
Yeah, you never see it, which is kind of a disappointment. But again, I mean,
the only person he fights really is the Ancient One, and she just punches his thing out. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's not really a fighter anymore. So it's okay. I mean, I quite enjoy that. I mean, the other big character that I really loved in this film is Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I think Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Especially that bit.
When he sees Cassie for the first time.
Yes.
Man!
Well, when he's searching the memorial for the fallen, or the lost, and he's trying to find her name, he's terrified she's dusted, and he sees his own name there, and immediately realises that she's alive without and has lived for possibly
5 years.
Thinking,
5 years not knowing, thinking he's dead, basically.
And the emotion he puts into the scene, Paul Rudd when he sees
so
Cassie
good,
for the first time, realises that she's his daughter.
He believes that that's his real daughter. He hasn't seen in 5 years.
Yeah, so good. And like he gets loads more funny moments. So the one thing
because he says to her, "Oh, you're big or you're not small anymore." I can't remember which way around he says it.
You're so big.
But I was expecting him to say something like, "You're not a peanut."
Sprouted peanut.
As much as that would have worked, I think that would have taken away from the scene emotionally.
Yeah,
but his face when he just hugs her and he's like looking and he's like realising what's happening, it's just great. But I mean, I quite like that they made him more. I mean, he tells a few jokes and stuff. But he made him more serious and like gravitas because he wants Hope back. Because I love the first Ant-Man. The second Ant-Man, I want to love, but they turn Ant-Man into like a joke.
Yeah. They concentrate on Wasp.
They make Wasp badass, which is great, but they make Ant-Man a joke because he's got a busted suit, doesn't work, and it's like really funny, haha. But like, if they it would have been good if that happened like at the beginning of the film, then at the end of the film he was badass again. But in this, he's like wicked, especially when he like after all the Avengers are together, and he giant man's out, and he's got like Hulk in his hand, and he's just standing there, and he just punches that
flying dragon thing. Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. I think he shone in this film. It was him, Cap. I think even Hawkeye really shone as well.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't in the last one. So, but we've already talked about Hawkeye and Black Widow, but their character development's quite good in this as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, the sacrifice for the Soul Stone wouldn't have worked without those two being those two characters.
Yeah, I think nearly everyone got him out. I think Rhodey didn't really get anything to do. He was just sort of there.
Yeah.
Rocket really didn't get anything to do. I would like to see him
lines, but
him and Groot. Like, what I'd like to see like when he saw Groot for
come
the first
back.
time.
Yeah.
I know he like jumped over him and was like trying to protect him. Like you didn't really see him like going Groot or like Quill or everyone. Like you didn't really get to see that bit, but. You know, there's only 3. It's already a 3-hour film. You could make it 5 hours if you wanted to put everything you want to see in it.
Exactly.
I mean, is there anyone that you think didn't get enough to do, or like that wasn't in the film you wanted to see?
I think
everyone was in there.
The core group that are left to build this film with all have their moments. They especially the key 6 Avengers. Because obviously they're the ones that aren't going to be coming back. Yeah. So they've bookended those quite nicely. Tony and Cap especially. Black Widow has finally gotten her death scene and emotional like that. Whether Hawkeye comes back in future, we don't know. Although there's rumoured to be a TV series coming out. Yeah. So Disney Plus.
I feel like that's just going to be his daughter though, because he called her Hawkeye for a reason. Like she does in the comics.
Yeah, Thor's going to show up in Guardians 3, but don't know how long for.
Yeah, but then
I'd say Hulk was the only one that was a bit.
I was going to say Hulk's the only one, but then someone said that online as well. A great little theory was that something to do with, I can't remember how it works. Universal, who still have part of the rights to the Hulk license.
That's why he can't do a solo movie.
So the Russos have kind of written him a 3-part solo movie over the last 3 movies.
Yeah. So makes sense. Yeah,
you've got the Thor Ragnarok where he's been Hulk for ages.
Yeah.
And then you've got Infinity War where he's trying to reconcile himself.
Bruce for ages.
And then this one where he's come to terms with it and he's got these own. So over the 3 films, you kind of see a whole film. That's where all the character relation is. So I would say. Yeah, again, I was annoyed that they didn't do more with the Hulk in this, but you've had all that time with him.
Yeah.
In the last 3 movies working for
them. Yeah. So, I mean,
I think in regards to anyone that wasn't in it that much, I mean, everyone that was dusted had to come back at the end anyway.
I mean, like Doctor Strange didn't have much to do.
No.
But
then again, he was holding back most of the Hudson River for the most of the
films. Exactly. I mean, yeah. So I guess the last thing then, if we go on to like. Before we go to fight, like, so it's done final thoughts already, but is there anything we didn't like?
There's only a couple of visual things.
Yeah, I think you spot because you guys have seen it more than I have.
There's some nitpick things.
The thing with Peggy, where
so Peggy
they go back to the 70s,
where she should
and
be
the last
in
time we see her, it was 1945, so she'd be 25 years older, but she looks exactly the same.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
You've got the Captain America uniform.
Yeah, I spot that. So, in the first Avengers film, by the end of the film,
he's covered in dirt.
He's covered in dirt. He's got cuts everywhere, right? His mask's been ripped off.
He's covered in blood.
Then when he fights himself, he's in a perfect suit with a mask on again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nitpick. Like, it doesn't bother me that much, but I was just thinking about it when I was watching it, and I was like, wait a minute, but Cap's suit should be fucked up.
Mm.
That's all. And then another like tiny little annoying thing that they just do all the time now is like Ant-Man, Wasp, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Every time they land or do anything, they have to take their mask off to talk. Don't need it. I don't need to. Like the bit where Black Panther at the end like goes to Clint, goes Clint, and he stops, takes his mask. Clint, pass it to me. Puts his mask back on, then runs. He could just have his mask on and say it.
Yeah.
You don't need to take the masks every 2 seconds.
I
get why they do it.
Yeah.
But just they never used to. Like Iron Man never had to take his mask off every time he wanted to say something. He would have his mask on, and you do an inside view of like
he didn't go like
top.
Clench up Legolas.
Exactly
that.
So like, but every time, I mean, I get the bit with him in Peter, great. I mean, most of the last fight, he didn't have his mask on for like whatever reason.
It's only the bit where he gets shot in the back, and then when he's flying up the top with Rescue Pepper.
Yeah, which was awesome.
And that's it.
Yeah, the rest of the time So, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just a nitpick of mine, and I understand why they do it. But it's just be like, what? Just like, leave the freaking masks on, and just like they can talk. It's only like 1 or 2 lines. You don't have to take the mask off to do it. So, I mean. Other than that, I think everything else.
My only gripe is that time travel is difficult to do without messing up with it. You have to be consistent with your laws, and this film kind of skirts around some of them for the emotional payoff.
Yes.
And for that, I'll give it a pass because you couldn't get the Cap scene at the end. Without skirting around some of the time travel shenanigans.
I mean, it's like the bit. If you think about it, right? This is I read this earlier, which is it was someone commented on Facebook somewhere. There's a really good idea. So Cap's got the suitcase with the 6 stones in, right? when they come back the first time, you've got the staff, you've got the Tesseract, you've got the ether isn't a stone.
No,
so how does Cap?
Oh yeah.
How does Cap put it back into a Tesseract?
Back, yeah.
Put it into the staff.
Okay, that's just
how the hell does he even get onto Volman? I mean, I would have loved to have gotten him to go and see Red Skull, but how does he? How does he?
He hasn't got a spaceship.
I give him a pass for that because I mean, it could have been another 40 minutes, and they could have. I would have loved to have seen it, but we just accept he's Captain America and he can do it.
Maybe we have a Quantum Leap style TV series coming out soon with
Chris Evans. I mean, that'd be cool.
Will be the next one that takes him home.
Yeah. I mean, I just accept that Captain America is that good. He can do it.
No.
And then the last one he did was the Tesseract. He put it back in the 70s and then he stayed with Peggy.
I can fully understand anybody not liking this film because the time travel messes things up a bit. Because, like I say, time travel is always one of those things where you see it in the film.
But what got messed up? I mean, the one thing I don't understand, which I do now because the way they say because you go back in time change something, is that the 2014 Thanos came to the future and died. Yeah. So.
No, it's a parallel timeline.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you have to be better with a diagram and a pen, which again, this is a problem with time travel. Is if you don't explain it well enough in your film, people are going to sit there making loopholes out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But when the 2014 timeline already splintered into a separate timeline when they jumped back and started interacting, when they knocked Peter Quill out in 2014, they've already that's changing the timeline. So that's the Thanos that comes to the future. So that timeline still exists. When the stones go back to where they were, that timeline carries on. And then that Thanos is the one that does the snap and dies when gets beheaded. Yeah. This timeline over here, this Thanos jumps to the future. So it's an alternate universe Thanos.
Okay. Well, they also say that when you go back, you're just recreating a different future.
Yeah.
It's not like that one is not there. He's just moved into their future now.
It's the same with
it was the same with like the way when Rudy goes, why can't we just go and kill baby Thanos? It doesn't work that way.
Because it's the same as why don't you go back in time and kill Hitler? Well, because you're creating two realities.
Yeah.
And then you've joined the one where Hitler died when he was a kid, but everyone in the other reality where Hitler was still around and did World War II is still there.
Yeah.
And everyone's
I mean,
it wouldn't affect their future.
I think like some people will be annoyed about it, but I've
got no issue with the time travel.
No, I'm fond of time travel stories myself, and the only reason I say that is because it throws a spanner in the works. If you don't do it right, it becomes a magic bullet. If you don't write time travel right, you can basically if you don't have a set amount of rules, and you don't follow those rules, time travel can do anything.
Yeah.
And I understand people who are annoyed that the time travel feels cheap, but at the same time I think it works for me.
All the callbacks they can do with time travel and all the stuff they're just.
I remember because when we talked about it after Infinity War, going, if they go back and change it, it's going to remove all the movies.
Yeah.
Because if they go back to
I thought like one of my theories was they go back to New York and fly through the wormhole and kill Thanos.
Yeah.
Well, they blew that ship up, which is Thanos. How is he alive?
I don't know. But like, well, again, but they sort of did the time travel thing, but they actually just went back, took the stones to the future, and then took them back again. Sort of made it
didn't change anything else.
It makes sense to me. Everything else progressed as it should. The only difference is Cap. But again, in my head, Cap went back to see Peggy, but he wasn't Captain America. He was like John Smith, Mr. Nobody, that she just got married to.
Well, that's what I mean about the branching timelines.
Yeah,
is that when Cap went back to see Peggy, he created another timeline. So the main timeline where he crashed into the ice, wakes up 70 years later, that's the main MCU timeline.
Yeah.
This other one is going on in the background. He's gone back and because he's created a split that's running parallel.
Why is it split? Because he.
I don't think it is a split.
Because there's still two Captain Americas.
Yeah.
Yeah. There will be in that universe, but in the main timeline, that Cap is just gone. He's not there. This split has both Chris Evanses, which.
Why?
I think it's the same one.
That's how it works.
It's the same one because when he goes back.
It won't work otherwise. It's the same way the time travel works in that film. It can't work without that being a split universe. It's weird.
He goes, but he doesn't change anything. He literally just stays with Peggy.
He changes the universe by being in it. It's quantum physics. It's weird. I found a paper on it.
I don't know. Okay, let's go back. We'll do
there's a diagram online, but it's
fair enough. But anyway, as long as he didn't change anything.
No, ultimately the way it works out is it won't change anything. He'll go back in time, however you want to see it. But nothing changes. Yeah. It'll work out. Our main Steve will go into the ice and come out 70 years later in the future, and that other Steve is living with Peggy.
Yeah,
and that won't change.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's quite good that he doesn't go and try and stop Bucky and things like. I know he's not allowed to change stuff, so he just goes back to be with Peggy. Yeah. He doesn't try and. He knows Bucky's alive to try and stop Bucky or do anything else. He just.
Well, it's possibly that's why everyone's suggesting it's a separate parallel universe because Steve being Steve. I think would have the idea of I'll stay with Peggy and stay out of the way and have my life I needed to. But do you think he can stand still do you think Steve would be able to sit down and not stand by? And,
True.
Yeah, he would interfere. So.
I would think so. Yeah, very true. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's up there. It's our top 3 MCU movies is Infinity War, Endgame, Winter Soldier. Yeah. Not in any order, just all top.
Yeah.
They're my top films.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there for me, and it works because it works so well as an ending.
Such a payoff. Such a payoff.
Like I say, like the only nitpick I have is we just had that little minor thing there was like time travel. You've got to do it right.
Well, everyone's got different. Like, obviously, like we've got different ideas of how it worked. So,
but I mean, narratively and pacing, the pacing's a little wobbly in places, but I think because the film works overall, I'm willing to forgive any nitpicks I have of Endgame because for me, emotionally, it works as a movie.
Yeah, a movie that makes me cry is a good film.
Yeah.
So, and I cried a lot in that film.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm happy that we went there. I don't think I can think of anything I would have changed because God knows I couldn't write anything like that.
No, exactly. I mean, well done, the Russo brothers.
And Steve Freely and Marcus Webb.
Yeah, the writers.
Well done for you making them.
And Kevin Feige.
Great Kevin Feige for allowing them to go ahead with that kind of craziness and make it work. So, Ross.
I'm still in awe of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I need to see it a good 5 more times at least.
Damn straight.
But yeah.
So anything you'd change?
No, but say bar the Hulk being a bit more in it, I wouldn't.
Like you said with the pacing, I feel like the bit where he's taking a selfie with the kids, I feel like that scene's a bit too long.
Yeah.
The second time I watched it, and the bit where Thor and Star-Lord are arguing at the end on who's the leader.
Yes.
I felt like that scene goes on. Those 2 little bits just drag on a little bit for me. That's the only thing.
I was in my head going, I know I had a problem with pacing. I thought the Hulk scene was the one I picked up on. But like you say, there are like you could trim those a little bit, and you could expand some others, and it might tighten the film up slightly. Exactly. I think the only weak aspect, and I'm saying weak in a it's not weak, but it's the middle bit with the heist, because they skip over the rules so quickly in the time travel thing that as soon as they kick it off, like I was watching Red Letter Media's review. They just brought theirs out. I don't know if you guys watch their channel, but they were talking about that as well. Like they reference Ocean's 11 as the heist as a good heist movie, where when you see them practicing to break into the vault, you see them practicing the plan, so they understand what they're doing. Whereas in this one, we go straight into the plan without knowing what's going ahead of time, which is good for the surprise payoff of all the films we're going back to see, and it works for that. Yeah. But without knowing what they're going to do before they go in and do it, when it goes wrong, you're like, oh.
I feel like you do get, because you have them all talking around and you see Nat's writing everything down. Yeah. Well, and then they're on the tables, sort of lying there, Hulk's on the floor, and it's like they've been there for a while and they're talking about it. So you kind of get a little clue that they are thinking about this, but you don't see it.
You don't see it as much as you would in another heist film. But then, again,
that's just a heist film. This is one section of the movie.
Then I think about it. More in a heist film, you'd have the time to plan that. Yeah. We've got an hour of the second act to get this over and done. Yeah. So again, it's a pacing problem, but it's not one I think I can fix.
No, yeah.
So I'm just a.
I mean, I'd love them to bring out an extended 4-hour movie of it.
Yes.
With all the bits
10 hours.
Took out.
10 hours.
10 hours.
To be honest,
40. Let's go. 40.
I'm going to be really interested to see what's in the cutscenes. On the Blu-ray when they're
it's a bit like Infinity War, where you see in that deleted scene with Nebula communicating with the Guardians, and there's that blinking light.
Yeah,
how long is that? We got 38 missing messages, and they cut it out because it's not really needed. But it's nice to know that she was trying to communicate with them for ages.
That's how they knew he was on time. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to someone about the other day. I know they filmed like 5 or 6 in like alternate endings.
See them.
Right, I would like to see them, but at the same time, if one of them was better, I'd be really annoyed.
Yes.
So I kind of would like to see them, but at the same time I don't. Yeah. Because if they're better, I'd be like, well, use that one.
I don't think you can have any better than Avengers
Assemble.
Assemble.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
That was the best moment.
Right, we've waffled on. So that structured review, and straight out with the window.
We shredded it on the way.
If you guys are still watching,
that's what happened to it.
It was perfectly balanced, like all things should be.
If you guys have watched this whole like hour-long review, good for you.
Sorry, we get talking.
We get passionate.
So please, guys, comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are on Endgame. How many times have you seen it so far? How many times are you going to see it? Who's your favourite character? Best moment, etc., etc. Tell us all about. We'd ask you
to mark in your comments if you're going to talk to us about spoilers. Mark it with spoilers. Leave a gap because there are going to be people who haven't seen it yet. Yeah. We want to.
Yeah, very true.
We don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But we do want to talk to you guys about it. So
remember, hashtag don't spoil the Endgame because we need the best thing about this movie is seeing it without knowing anything.
Yeah, definitely.
But please, love to hear your thoughts, guys. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts on it. Say your favourite moments. If you don't like any of it, your favourite character, etc. And please come and follow us and subscribe on the channel. We're also doing loads of TV reactions. Those are all the Marvel Disney Plus stuff that's coming out in November. We will be reacting to.
A lot of that makes sense now as well. We've got the Falcon and Bucky show. We were like, how's that going to work?
The Loki one.
The Loki one.
Yeah.
Now we know. So
reacting to all that. And don't forget, we're on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links are in the description below. We have a Patreon set up the channel if you want to follow that. And we do a weekly blog and podcast. Well, maybe every other week.
Yeah.
So there we go. How much we get. But please, guys, come below, and we'll see you very soon for the next reaction.